y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the,
Yes, starting season 2, episode 2, The Double Deuce.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Hope you guys enjoyed your first week of football.
Yeah, we fucking did.
We
These two over here
definitely
were,
enjoyed it. I'm still recovering.
They went to the Michigan-Texas game, followed it up with the Leos at home.
Tailgate Talk's a good name because there was a lot of tailgating done this past weekend.
Nah.
Fuck, was there ever some tailgating? I'm so tired still. Yeah. Still recovering.
I got a teething daughter at home, so love being dad.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to kick this show off how we normally kick it off. Hey, Red Bull again. Holler at your boys.
Yeah.
But cheers.
Tito's.
And here we go.
It's no longer a shotgun start. It's the chug.
Shit.
Chug start. There's the rhino.
Oh.
No.
Nothing like starting. Yep.
Oh my God! It stays in your nose.
All right, shake it up.
Oh my goodness gracious!
If I wasn't crying Saturday in the big house, I'm crying now.
There it is.
Oh, hey,
All right, hey.
Josh. What do we got today?
All right, got a full slate today, baby. We're gonna be heavy Michigan, heavy Detroit Lions.
Let's fucking go.
All I do is heavy, so that fits me very well. We got a nice power ranking that we're gonna do, and then a little buy or sell Lions edition. Right before we go over the picks for this week, so pretty full slate. I'm pretty excited. I don't know how you guys feel, but we're gonna start it off with who wore it, and we went with our very own Lori out in the pin out there, and she went with the number 58.
I'm going to start it off because you guys won't have this one. I know who the real number 58 is. I'll let you guys say it. Yeah, I'm going to go with a local, very, very good, close family of mine. He wore number 58 for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Frank Zambo.
I think it's a second call out, isn't it?
It was. He wore 51 with the Chiefs.
Yep.
51,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then
good call,
58 he wore with the Packers.
Zambo's getting called out like fucking crazy on this thing.
When when they won the Super Bowl, he had the only sack in that game against Big Ben, and then he did the Zorro Z.
He did.
So
Pretty
it
tough.
was great. That's local hero. I know who.
What do you wear at Stevenson?
84. He was receiver.
That's right. Big son of a bitch.
But yeah, I'll let you guys go ahead and say 58. I know who the 58 is going to be here.
You can give it. I'll give the other ones that I had to look up after because that's the only person I thought of.
Yeah, there ain't a lot of 58s. I could only even think of two, and one is because of a picture I've seen many times, and that's Jack Lambert, but I'm going to go with Penei Sewell.
Yep. He is the king of Detroit. I think he's...
The start of the rebuild?
Best lineman in football.
Yep. And he's not even playing his position.
Yeah.
Which is the craziest fucking part.
Did you watch the pregame speech I sent you the other day?
Yeah. Goosebumps.
I was ready
I know.
That's
to
what I was
put the
gonna
pads
say.
back on.
That's one thing about Sewell that goes unnoticed, country across the country and in the league is I think he is honestly like the heartbeat of the team, the leader. You
100%.
look at these speeches and how fired up he is, and that's why it was such a big deal for him to resign in the offseason and to show how committed we are to him because I think that just is going to keep growing and growing.
Right. He echoes what the coaches say. What he stands for is what we are, and it's awesome.
Yep.
I think he's the turnaround for sure. So on top of that, I had to look it up. Von Miller also wore 58, which was a pretty sick. I was like, there's got to be someone. That Super Bowl against
I feel like
Carolina.
Dude, he's so good.
Played pretty fucking well.
there might be like 58's a tough one too because obviously it eliminates basketball.
So fun stat before you go on.
What did Galarraga wear? 58, 59?
NBA has never had a player wear 58 in any era.
That makes sense.
There's like 5 numbers that no one's ever worn.
Yeah.
58 is one of them.
Wow. What did Armando wear? Picture in 58 might be wrong.
I think Albuquerque wore 58.
Okay.
That's
Al.
It's like that same.
Yeah, it's one of those where you get to your random pitcher call-ups. They might wear that number, and then if they stick around,
that also here's a nice call out. If we want to go back to high school, the number 58 jersey is actually buried under Chippewa's field.
Why?
Parents, back when Dakota wasn't beating Chippewa, we moved up for playoffs and we had a 58 jersey. And we wrote, not me, the parents wrote a bunch of stuff and they dug it, put it under the 50-yard line of Chippewa.
Was there any significance to the 58, or is that just a jersey?
It was the jersey. It was the jersey that we had moved up.
Okay.
And one jersey was missing. It's underneath there. And when we graduated, my buddy's dad sent a note to the coach saying that this is what happened. So
wow.
Pretty sweet. It's
Pretty cool.
underneath Chippewa's field. So fuck you guys. Chippewa sucks. I will say that till I'm dead. But yeah. What do you got over there? You texting real estate, or are you looking at other 58s?
Looking, but there ain't a ton.
There ain't a ton. No.
Jack Lambert, Derek Thomas. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's King Pinay's, number. It will go down. He'll be the best to wear it. He probably already is. He's better than Von. I don't know. Von was pretty fucking sick.
I just had to look it up just for my confirmation, and
Is it Galarraga?
almost perfect, baby.
Nice.
It was perfect.
It was still scarred in my head. But
I think what happened was bigger for him, right?
oh yeah, he's more well known for that than he
Right.
would have been. I
And
The
mean,
he-
motherfucker got a Corvette out of it.
the
I mean-
only thing that was worse for him was that moment and that night, because you took that excitement in that moment.
Oh,
of
for
the-
sure.
Oh my, that was taken away. But from that point forward, for the rest of his life,
It was way
he's
better.
more well known for this.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
28 out. Perfect game.
Still feel awful for Jim Joyce.
Yeah.
That guy, for as long as he was
and
an ump too. And
For Jim
Well, but he
Leland,
wasn't a bad ump, other than he
And that's
made
the-
that bad call.
And all
Right.
you ask for in umps is to be a person and try to be consistent, acknowledge when you make a mistake. And that dude was crying before the game was over. He knew it, and he knew
knew
what
it.
it meant,
He
and
knew.
it tore him apart.
and for Leland to send him out there the next morning, or for
Yeah,
the
lineup. Yep.
was what. And I just watched a thing on it actually, and Jim Joyce is like, no idea, couldn't see anything. I had so much tears in my eyes,
Yep.
and he's like, for that guy to come out there and he's like, it's
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
He's like that. If I wouldn't have got that, like he was not okay.
That's how it should be too.
It was
That's
a class act all around.
Yeah,
Which was
it
nice.
was. It was. All right, so off of King Pinay, we're gonna hop into the boys on Sunday night. Pretty fucking great game. But left a lot on the table. What are your guys'
Yeah.
thoughts of the game?
I mean, obviously, first and foremost, a dub's a dub in the National Football League.
Yes, sir.
No matter how you spin it, if you win in the National Football League, it's every Sunday it's a new challenge. So that is a win. I love the way our defense played, and again, we saw him do it here a ton. Matthew Stafford's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL every day of the week. He is that good. He made plays, and I think offensively, we didn't play in the preseason. It's gonna take time to get rolling. I will say I would like to see Mati get a few more carries in the middle of the game.
I feel like they did that all last year too. There's
Yeah.
no like rhyme or reason why they're putting either of them in.
Yeah, and it's like I get it. Like
I mean, those legs look
but
fresh
watching
in
that,
overtime.
watching that last drive is it defines who Detroit is. Mm-hmm. We're gonna come down and we're gonna run this fucking ball down your throat.
You're not getting the ball back.
You're not getting it back. And do you see how excited Jared Goff was at the coin flip? Like he almost didn't shake Stafford's
Yeah.
hand. Like he
Goff-
fucking almost ran off.
And fucking Campbell too. Dude, he's that fucking smirk
Smile.
he did. Yeah, it was incredible.
It was like
Incredible.
game over on the coin flip.
Yeah.
I could talk this one particular Lions game for the entire podcast. There's
Yeah.
so much to unfold
Yes.
with it. My first and foremost is the city of Detroit. We were down there at noon. Didn't see a single altercation, nothing like bad. It was such a cool atmosphere downtown Detroit. Watched all the 1 o'clock games, bounced around a few tailgates at 4 o'clock, made it in the stadium early, got the Jahmyr Gibbs bobblehead. That was cool. And then the atmosphere, how loud it was. Trick came out.
Dude.
It was a cool surprise. Bunch of people on the sidelines. I mean, super cool atmosphere. Ford Field was packed.
Yeah.
And it was so loud early. As far as the game goes, I think, we got these new toys. We got J-Mo stepping up. We got, Gibbs. And I almost feel like at times it's cool to use these, but also stick to your identity. That's what we did.
How'd you
in
get here?
overtime. As far as Gibbs and Monty, Yeah, I love them both. I want Monty to get more carries. I know we did this last year where we kept alternating series with him. Mm-hmm. I think
It almost seems like quarters, though, to me.
it last year it was like Monty would start, Gibbs would come in,
Mm-hmm.
and then lots of times Monty would finish or the
Who
game
was
would be
hot.
over.
Who was hot, right?
Yeah, my thought is if you want to open with Monty, that's cool. If you want to go to Gibbs next, that's cool. The rest of the game, though, let's just play it normal.
Why can't we see some two back sets, man? Like I don't
think we
understand.
will.
Like
I
you
think we
know,
will.
I'd like to
I
see
think
that
we
too.
Ben Johnson is too good of a coach to not have that.
I can
in the fold.
imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine
You know?
it's in the playbook.
Right.
And one thing I like to continue to see, which they did do it this past week, is you still give Gibbs the ball up the middle sometimes, throw it to him sometimes. Monty up the middle, throw it to him sometimes. I like that we're still not, even though one running back's in the game or the other, we're still not predictable.
Right.
They're still, they're showing that each of them can do everything, because it's not like sometimes you'll see with some teams where the second this guy goes in the game,
You know it's a pass,
hit,
right.
100%, which kind of like Michigan with Orgy, like
Yeah,
right now.
or the Ravens.
We don't want.
You know what I mean? As soon as Hill goes in, you know it's a passing play because
Yep.
you know
100%.
Right.
Derrick Henry. That's what they did against the Chiefs that whole game was.
Right.
Why do you think Derrick Henry started getting stuffed there and then they went away from
Right.
him? Every time he was in the game, it was a handoff up the middle, got stuffed. Okay, now.
Yeah.
So obviously we all love Ben Johnson, but that's one thing that I love that they do. And yeah, it was a Ben Johnson bit of a masterclass, like it always is.
Mm-hmm.
But just a great game. Great just to get away with the win. Like I said, NFL 1-0.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
mean, to go into it, your star receiver with 3 catches for 13 yards.
I think
Your standout tight end having, I think it was 4 for 45 or
Yep.
40 something.
4 for 46.
Yeah, I
Our
mean, just
two-
and really not be in the offense,
our 2 worst PFF grades
Yeah.
this game were Goff and St. Brown.
which is and
And
Goff.
and you won.
Yeah, and Goff didn't have a bad game.
Yeah.
He
they
didn't have
just-
a good game. He
Yeah.
didn't have a bad
Interceptions,
game. It
though.
was an
Right.
average, very average
And,
football game for
and
him. And
I just think for us to go out, like, rewind 5 years,
We-
for us to go out and to beat them,
We
you
will-
had to have an A+ game and be rolling on every cylinder,
Yep.
right? And we went out there, let's call it a C+,
Yep.
and we beat them.
yeah,
And credit to the Rams too, and like I said with Stafford, their game plan was phenomenal. It was
It was.
quick passes, get the ball out. Like,
I've never seen Stafford get the ball up that quick. It was incredible.
he was good, dude. Like it was.
and that's where I credit the scheme. He was first read 9 times out of 10, but that first read was open. Like you got to
Yeah.
you take
Coop-
that away.
Cooper
you know,
Kupp's pretty fucking good too. Still,
yeah.
He's a good player. Yeah, I saw this morning too that Puka's out for 4 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
something
good.
neat.
That-
Alex Anzalone set the fucking tone for
Early.
that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
That
he came out fired up, and I was all about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hutch, after that, after their left tackle, I can't think of their name, got injured. Hutch was just ragdolling that.
Said it was I think again PFF. It was the best pass rush win rate in a single.
I mean, it
game
was
in like 5 years.
they had to put a tight end, a running back. They had to, or Hutch was gonna.
Yeah.
He was gonna kill. It was gonna kill
a
Stafford.
48% win rate
I
on pass
I
rush.
wish he
Unreal.
came home. He beats the guy, and it's just like I don't know if he gets like happy feet back there. Like just fucking hit him.
No, it was quick. It
I
was
know.
the quick game.
I understand. I want him to hit. Like he beats his guy so much. Like give him the credit for it.
Yep.
Yeah. PFF, like that's great that you're, but give him the fucking
That's the
sacks,
one
man.
thing
Let
that-
him, you know.
I know it's our secondary as well is still gelling. Arnold's obviously first year player. It just got to be a little bit better in coverage. I think
that was my second thing I wanted to bring up is just the rookie corner play. Obviously, we had 2 huge calls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That resulted to both touchdowns. Right.
Yeah, the first one they touched
It
on.
was
Second one we got the holding call on Hutch, backed him
Yeah.
up, and they kicked the
Okay.
field goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
But
You're
10
right.
points.
You're right. So obviously, the transition. I'm clearly not a corner. I was always told that corner's the
one of
biggest.
those calls was absolutely atrocious.
The first one was so bad. The second one was iffy. First one was bad.
First one was atrocious, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, you're in the NFL. You're not at Alabama.
Yep.
You're not going to get those calls.
I came
you know?
away. I remember Okuda, and I remember and just corners in general, and who was it last year? Sutton. I came away encouraged that Terrian was competing the way he was. He was there. I mean, there wasn't a single time all game where it was like, man, that guy got cooked.
Right.
No,
He
there
was
wasn't.
right there.
No, it's hands.
And
It's
I mean-
hands is what happened.
And guess,
No.
and he was. And
Now,
I mean,
J-Mo cooked the corner.
yeah, Cup and Nakua. Like, man, that's not not
No.
the easiest matchup. Game one,
but that's great though, and the fact that they trusted him with him or on Cup. I don't remember seeing too much of Rakeshaw.
Rakestraw came
Like-
in
like I
when
s-
Tyrion got a little banged up late, and Rakestraw did come in. Where Rakestraw's worst play was on that punt. He's
Yeah,
the one that
yeah.
knocked the ball in the end zone. And I mean, he's excited. He's in the game.
Right.
The
What
crowd's
a
going
punt though
crazy.
for fucking Fox, dude.
Yeah.
To land at the 2 and fucking spin, that was incredible.
I think it was like their second or third to last drive. Tyrion came out for a couple plays, and I specifically saw Rakestraw go in, and I'm staring at him. And it was only 2-3 plays, but he did his job for those
Yeah.
2-3.
So I mean, they're deep, right?
That's the
I think
thing. That-
Robertson
I
made
think
some plays.
you know
Branch
might be our best fucking defensive player.
Branch was
too.
this close.
I know, man.
I mean,
I know.
He's just got such a knack for
He-
being around the ball
he-
and
every-
the instincts.
You're right, and the fact that he's at safety now too,
Yep,
I think is perfect for him.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think we had besides those couple plays, I think the corner play, and then really just do you think St. Brown's going to have a bounce back game this week? Like knowing his mentality
Yep.
that he only had. I mean, his best play was swatting that ball down when he fell.
Side note too, we just went through the whole secondary. Didn't even mention Curb.
Oh yeah, who had the fucking pick, man?
interception.
Yeah, right,
He
right,
just-
right,
You know, but yeah, St. Brown man.
right.
He's going to go off this week, and the Lions are going to make a concerted effort to get him involved.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that pick, I watched their podcast
I did too,
yesterday.
yeah.
and that was a huge play. In the moment, I remember thinking, "Whoo!" But
Yeah.
I didn't really put as much emphasis on it until I heard him talking about it. Like, yeah, that's game over if he doesn't get a hand on that.
No, yeah,
You know,
easy pick.
I want to elaborate on Kelly too. The city of Detroit, the way that we showed up, I've never had a headache at a game, like whether it's coaching, playing, other than a concussion. But I don't know if I had a headache at that time. The noise was fucking absolutely insane. The city of Detroit showed up.
Yep.
Yeah, do you
And
see?
I got a feeling that's going to be every home game.
It is.
Like,
They're saying that Detroit's the new 12th man. It's
It
from
is.
start to finish. It is loud.
The first play of the game was a false start.
Yeah.
Their right tackle jumped offsides.
And then you heard what who was it? Branch said to Arnold. He's like, "Hey, you know
yeah.
Tuscaloosa's loud, right?
Yep.
This beats it." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, like you're just saying that because we were like on a mic or whatever." And he's like, "No, man, the game fucking started." I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. I think,
And then they did the decibel levels. I think it was on the morning show on the ticket. The loudest Tuscaloosa was when he played there was actually an interception that Arnold had, right? That the loudest point for the whole season was at that moment, and the start of the game was the same decibel level.
Yeah.
Like nothing happening, just the start of the fucking game.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fucking intense.
He said I think I heard him talking about when they announced him. So they just Detroit always
Branch.
does either the offense or the defense.
Right.
I think a lot of people were hoping for the offense just because of Goff.
Yeah, right.
Goff got his chance regardless. They did announce the defense, and when Terrian got announced, he said he was like an out of body experience. He's just running around going crazy.
Well, the other thing too. So obviously Hutch had the loudest decibel level.
he was the last one called.
Of course, right? But they said number 2. It was very close, but it was between Anzalone and Branch. And Branch goes, "I've never been that guy."
Yeah,
Think of it. When he was at Bama, they had
yeah, everybody.
everybody. So it was like, whatever. But he's like, to feel that and think of a guy to like represent Detroit, like hits hard, just quick, just vicious, like, and always around the ball. Like they love it.
Yep.
And he loves that we, show him that respect.
Yeah, he was a little in the shadow last year at Gardner
Yeah.
Johnson,
Right.
being a rookie, and
Who
now-
played like shit
Now he
too.
runs the show. Yeah. Yep. And
No,
last
man.
year, the last guy called was always Anzalone, so that makes sense that there's some carryover there. With
Well,
him.
Hutch is the
And
captain
so-
now.
Yeah, and that's so. There's some carryover there with Anzalone, and he still is.
I mean, he's Thor,
Looked
baby.
at
He
it
comes
as-
out
yeah.
flying around. He was laying the fucking wood to start the game.
I'd
Yeah.
love to see
It,
it.
I think
it was
13 tackles. Something
Yeah,
crazy.
dude. Yeah,
That's a great
something
game for him.
nuts, man. All right. Well, we only got one little section here about Michigan, so I want to hit that before we get back into the NFL, because obviously we did have a game on Saturday. The outcome was not excuse me, Red Bull coming up wasn't what we were looking for. But what did you guys get out of the game as a positive? What are we looking forward to see corrected this week against Arkansas State? And what are we looking at being fixed by USC the week after?
It's a lot.
I was just gonna say there's
to unwrap here.
Loaded here.
First off,
wait, hang on. We do want to give Duff his credit. You know, he has Michigan with 2 losses, Texas being one of them. We were both wrong on it.
yes.
Everyone did have 10-2. Also, from seeing what we saw on Saturday, does that change your opinion of your 10-2 record at all?
Oh man.
maybe one other loss in there.
I'm gonna need to hold off my judgment until the USC game because that USC game is either going to be ultimate redemption where the team shows back up, they dominate in the trenches and they win a hard fought game, or if it looks anything like this last week, I might be going to 4 or 5 losses.
Yeah.
But first things first for me, Texas. It's probably Texas versus Georgia. For the national. Texas was unreal, and I keep hearing comparisons with them to last year's Michigan team. And the more I think about it, you know, they're coming off of a college football final loss that they felt they should have won. That's Michigan versus TCU. You got a returning quarterback. You got returning offensive, defensive lines. Those guys are on a mission, and man, they showed it Saturday.
Yeah, 100%.
Quinn Ewers was very impressive, and the biggest takeaway for me and my biggest negative with Michigan was we got out schemed, and I don't know if it's a Martindale thing, I don't know, but man, they were just running in the clear, their running backs in the flats, and there were it's been in the last 3-4 years, every single time Michigan's defense got a team to a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, I felt great. Not Saturday. It was like, oh, they're gonna get it.
That was the story of the game, man.
It was third and anything.
Third downs, they couldn't do.
It was third and anything, dude.
Yep.
Third and anything was a very challenging.
It was a rough game. It was.
It was tough. I said this, I've never left the big house early, especially not at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stomach it, couldn't watch it. I know.
Yeah.
Just he was stuck on the field having to take pictures still.
Yeah.
But
I did my best.
the linebacker play scares the shit out of me. I think our secondary is going to be okay. Our D-line can sure up. I think.
That was a elite O-line too.
100%. But
so
we should have an elite.
That might be the best O-line that they come against.
Sure. And I hope our offensive line is gelling because I would love them to get back to Michigan.
Yeah.
Of downhill running, and I think their OC said that last week after the game.
He did.
And it might not be Donovan Edwards. It's okay if it's Mullings.
Yep.
That's okay with me.
He looks like the better back.
Yeah.
He's a downhill runner, dude.
And why can't Don just be what he was? Let him be that second guy. That big play guy, that whatever, and let Mullins take the brunt of the carries.
Got to find a way to get down in space.
But the thing is you got to be able to run the ball.
Like, how many times did Texas scheme that running back on a swing route? Imagine Donovan Edwards getting that play. Like, he can break it at any time. Just get him some space somehow, some way. If you got to put him in slot, if you got to motion him, if you got to just figure out a way to get down the ball in space. That's all I care about with Edwards. And the O-line, O-line's got to improve. I saw a lot of, clips going around of people saying that how close they are in replays of maybe one guy missing a block, and it shows you how little and how perfect you got to be as an O-line on some of these plays. But it was a little encouraging, but man, it shows how spoiled we were the last couple of years.
Well, what is an O-line? It's 5 playing as one,
Yep.
right? If one's off, you're off.
Yeah, and the people that thought we would just immediately roll into what we had been doing the last few years. Again, we sent 15 players to the draft. Six O-linemen, like our top 6 O-linemen, all went to the draft. We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I don't remember the stat. They showed how many games that all these people have played, and it was very, very small. So I think that's the biggest piece that I took out of it. This O-line, not saying that they're bad. They're just not what they were in the past years, and Michigan is known for having an O-line. I feel like that's the part of the team that needs to be our best spot for our game to happen, right?
It's very hard at no matter what level of football you're at replacing that many offensive linemen.
100%.
And I do think that we have the dudes to do it. I think it takes time.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of people put stress on the quarterback. Yeah, he didn't play well, but also like, what quarterback plays well behind a O line that's not doing well? You know what I mean? It all coincides with it.
I'm still convinced Davis Warren is competent enough to win us a game if given, if everyone around him plays up to their level.
Yeah.
Is he gonna do something crazy to win you the game? No, but is he gonna? I think he's competent enough to lead the team, and but again, that takes everyone else. That takes Colston Level and a guy that you lean on, not fumbling before half. That takes
not running the wrong route when he threw the pick on that last pick.
Yeah, and Sharon. I mean, lots of times the coaches, at least we're used to Harbaugh, so Harbaugh never really gives a whole lot away of anything. Post game, when Moore was asked about that interception, he just blatantly said,
Right. Yeah.
ran the wrong route.
Right.
So that clearly tells me, it was on level. Both those plays. That's 2 turnovers that are on a guy that, again, we depend on.
He's
Best tight end in the country.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the biggest thing I think that I got text to me during the game is, why do we have a walk-on quarterback when we had the portal, we have NIL, we're national champions. You're telling me that we couldn't get someone better than this? And I'm like, who was out there? I don't really even know. But and it's like, we didn't have our fucking head coach.
I saw it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot moving on in that first portal situation, and it's like,
I think
people forget that.
did they think Orgy was going to be better? I don't know.
No,
I don't
people
know.
Forget that.
And also, JJ didn't commit.
so. That's,
right?
That's the big thing.
I saw a timeline yesterday, and there was 4 like decent quarterbacks in the portal. 2 by the time JJ, I think it was January 14th, JJ decided to go declared for the NFL. Mind you, we still have the Harbaugh situation. We still have the NCAA. We still have all this going on. But at that point, 2 of the 4 quarterbacks had already committed, and the other 2 both committed within the next week. I think it was Cam Ward and DJ.
Well,
I don't want him.
Didn't the 2 guys? Didn't Oregon get 2?
Dante Moore and Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I think big part of our issues right now, if you made me really dig into the last few years, I think we put a lot of our eggs in the Dante Moore basket 2-3 years ago. We might have got cooked there. Whatever, NIL, say what you will. There's a lot going on with Dante Moore, but that might have started this situation a little bit. But I think, that being said, I think the bridges were burned there with Dante Moore. I don't think it was ever a consideration him traveling back.
Never
to
had a
the West,
chance.
So.
Okay.
But
Just saying, that was what I was seeing a lot of, and I'm just like, I don't even remember. I figured it'd be good to bring it up on here.
It'd be really sweet if Bryce Underwood switches his commitment.
yeah,
I just like the rule. Can you decommit and recommit as many fucking times as you want? Like, it's just Wild West,
Until you
right?
sign a letter of intent, you can do whatever you want.
Right. No, I'm saying like for NIL and shit.
even these days.
Could you commit to a school and then
Before you
change it
it's
before?
the same thing as when you sign.
Yeah.
Once you sign your letter of intent.
Quinn Ewers did it with Ohio State.
Right.
He committed. He took big NIL money, and the next thing you know, he was at
Yeah.
Texas before.
Right.
So, what am I looking for this weekend?
Yeah.
I want to see that O-line start to gel. I want to see a couple chunk plays from the running backs. We started to see some more success from Davis Warren later in the game when you've seen him getting out of the pocket. Maybe that's his thing, man. I know that was not like my own. I was a quarterback. I was way more comfortable out of the pocket. I was way more comfortable, with a little bit more backyard ball. It doesn't have. Maybe he's not that guy that is 100%. And again, if the O-line's struggling, add that into the mix.
Right.
Maybe he's not that comfortable in the pocket on 3-step drop. Get him out of the pocket. Maybe get him some confidence early in a game for a change. Some easy throws. Get Donovan Edwards involved in the pass game, and then defense. We're playing Arkansas State, man. Dominate, dominate, and in the trenches. That again,
all around.
Biggest
Yeah.
discouraging thing with Texas was that our D line was getting beat and our O line looked like it did. So
I mean, we have arguably 3 or 4 first-round picks in our defense.
I mean, yeah, Kenneth. You got 3 first round: Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, and Will Johnson.
For sure, right? And then
I mean, you got Barham, whoever. A lot
you're
of
right.
hype, Josiah
So, like I said,
Stewart.
arguably 4 in the first round. We didn't
more
look like 4 of those players were NFL.
I need
players.
to see more from Barham because
100%.
it was not good. His linebacker play was bad, and it was, especially since we saw Texas score a lot, especially down by our end zone. You could see him trailing.
You see Junior Colson laying the wood on Sunday, though, right?
I did.
Felt good.
Man, the Chargers. Oh, Jesus. Like, watching everything with... And the hilarious thing is everything with Harbaugh and the Chargers, it's their first time experiencing it. Like, I was laughing, like, before it even made media, and now Herbert's been talking about it the last couple of days. First time I saw a video of Harbaugh going over to do that, where he hits his pads.
Yeah.
Right when he did that every game with JJ for years.
Forever.
Hits the shoulder pads.
He even did it with Andrew Luck, didn't he?
He did it with Cade. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like it goes way back.
And it's take your hits, get ready. He does it pregame. Hits the shoulder pads, turns around, hits the back, and he walks over to Herbert. He hits his shoulder pads, and Herbert hugs him. He thought he was going in for like a bro hug or something.
Come on, man.
And then he just kind of pushed him away and kept hitting him. And Herbert, it took Herbert a second. Where he's like, "Is this guy crazy?" And then he's like, "Oh, this is normal."
This is what he does.
This is Jim.
This is got it.
So I think obviously because it was talked about so much this week, I'm interested to see this weekend when he does it. I bet you Herbert's gonna be a lot more prepared for it.
Yeah.
Herbert's gonna fucking body him. Just chest bump the fuck out of him.
Also, did you see Herbert's stat line? It was like like $175, but he was like just hit his guys.
I also heard I'm sure some Ohio people would cringe reading this, but Dobbins had a post game quote where he just was going on and on about how genuine Harbaugh is and how happy he is to be playing for him and how excited the team is. And I'm like, man, like, yeah, Jim Harbaugh, he's the real deal, football guy.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Any other things you want to touch on Michigan before we
take care of business? Do what you're supposed to do, because this is one of those games you're supposed to do that.
Yeah. I think you dominate on defense, dominate on the O-line. That's what I would love to see against Arkansas State. Put them out of the game early. Don't give them a shot, and work on the things you need to work on the rest of the game. I also would like to see Orgy just not come in and run the fucking ball. Can we stop doing that?
It is quarterback related. One more wild card that was spoke about this past week, and it's something I talked about all offseason. Jack Tuttle's cleared to play. He's cleared for full contact. He had surgery in the offseason on his non-throwing shoulder.
Right.
They said there had some complications. It wasn't cleared, and now Sherrod Moore said on Monday that he is cleared now.
That doesn't mean he's going to be in the mix.
We lost a game.
I think he's in the mix.
I personally
this week to be cleared and come right in.
I don't know. I personally thought all offseason that Tuttle would be the starter.
Yeah, right.
I thought it when he said he was staying.
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was the dude.
He was the clear backup last year. Like, he was the guy that came in after JJ.
Until he got cheap shotted on the sideline.
Yeah, who was that against?
He was the number. I don't know.
Weren't we at that game?
Yeah, we were there.
So
Yeah.
he was the number one guy in line behind him. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna watch Tuttle in pregame and does he get a chance in the game? And then I want Orgy. Dude, we're playing Arkansas State. Let him throw the ball a couple times. At least put it on tape.
Is Jaden Davis redshirted?
So they don't have to officially announce it, but everybody says the plan is Jaden Davis is going to redshirt. And when they asked Sherrod Moore about it, he said straight up, the best players are going to play, and he made it seem like Jaden Davis is a decent amount away from cracking
being
that
that.
rotation.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a skill thing. I think it's just grasping,
An
the
offense,
the playbook, and everything. So
Being a quarterback for a
don't anticipate seeing any Jaden Davis based off of what the coaches are saying. But
I mean,
Tuttle, I'm really curious to see how that plays out.
All right. Well, hey.
Go Blue.
They got some shit to do this
blue.
week.
Go Blue, go Blue.
Yeah. Still staying at 10-2, both you guys?
I'm
Right
in it
now.
for now.
Right now.
For now.
For now, we're committed.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Okay. All right, switching back to the NFL, we are going to do a NFL power ranking. A lot of games. I know you guys missed some of them because you guys were at the Lions Sunday night game. What's your thoughts on the Power 5 in the NFL? You can go rank one. I mean, I don't know if we want to go around, if we want to do hit all five. But what's your ranking?
Everybody has Chiefs won, right?
I have Chiefs at 1. Yes, I do.
Chiefs won. They won the Super Bowl. They won this week. So I think
They beat the Ravens. They beat them handily. It was a good team. They looked good.
we'll just get that one out of the way.
They're up there. Duff, you same boat?
Yeah.
2. Who you got?
Me, it's the 49ers.
Yeah, they looked like they left off from last year.
Yeah.
So
They were the runner-up last year. We know how good they are, obviously, here in Detroit. And they just manhandled the Jets without their best player.
Now, are the Jets who everyone's saying? Probably not.
no, but I still think
but
way
they came out there and
the
throttled
way that
them.
they came and ran the ball with a backup running back.
Didn't miss a beat.
The thing about
No.
the Jets, too, is as a team, I don't even care. Like, as a team, are they who we thought they were? We know what they are as a defense, and the 49ers
Shit out
just
of him.
gashed them left
And that's
right.
the.
Like,
I mean, hearing. Did you hear the Kittle interview where he said the best part about McCaffrey being out is our playbook was very vanilla. We ran basic zone plays.
Yep.
They ran
Basic,
basic
right.
zone plays with
And
not
he-
a lot of cross action, not a lot of motions.
Mason 8.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah, they
my
look good.
biggest
And
surprise.
not having Ayuk for most of the offseason and Trent. Like, and they didn't miss a fucking.
He's so good.
He is, man.
He missed the whole offseason and comes in and plays the whole game.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
he missed like 4 plays. He went to get an IV.
yeah, but man, and did you see the Manning cast where they were talking about Ayuk? Manning he's like, this is
Yeah,
why
you
you
don't
get the
miss
deal
that.
signed because you dropped a ball
Dropped
in
the
the end
ball.
zone.
You gotta
And he's
shout.
like, that's a touchdown if he would have been at camp. And I was just like, that's fucking, I love
We
it.
got to shout out the local kid, too. I think Jake Moody
Oh, dude.
Jesus
Booming
Christ.
balls, man.
tied the franchise record for field goals in a game. He is the current leading point scorer in the NFL.
He had 3 over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the one doink, but
Yeah.
it just comes in. And
I mean, what a week for kickers, man.
Yeah.
Boswell hit all of them in Pittsburgh.
Get him out of the
And then-
fantasy
and-
leagues.
And then you almost had
Brandon Aubrey was dropping
Aubrey,
bombs.
dude, he almost dropped a 71er.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw
what are
him
we
line up
doing?
for it.
He hit a 66, and then it was a penalty. Delay a game.
Yep.
Wild. All right, so San Fran all around. All right, this is probably where things are going to change. Who you got at 3?
Lions.
Lions.
So I do not have them there because I didn't see an A game. And I know, hey, it's a moving thing here. All right. And I put the Houston Texans at 3.
Shoot.
I think their offense looked pretty fucking great. Mixon looks like a man running among boys.
Mixon had 30 carries. When's the last time you saw
So-
that
so
other than Oklahoma?
All we talked about was the receivers, their tight ends, and then what happens? Mixon runs the ball fucking 30
30
times.
carries.
But that's the definition of don't fix what ain't broke.
Right. And I think they're-
go with the hot hand.
My fantasy team appreciated it.
Yeah, hey, and fucking Diggs out there getting 2 tugs, like they looked really good, and they played. I think that their quality of football was better than Detroit plays. Now, do I think Detroit's a better team? Yes, but I think Houston put it together before them, so I'm putting them at 3.
That's a team that a lot of the questions with the Texans and the Lions both, fantasy wise and in game wise, is
Yep.
how are they going to spread the ball around?
Yep.
And I mean, Nico still had 117 yards receiving. Diggs had the 2 touchdowns. Tank Dell had a decent game. Schultz had a couple catches.
Did Schultz have a
Mixon-
touchdown or no?
I don't think he had a
He
touchdown.
didn't have
No,
a touchdown,
okay.
but he had like 5
But I'm just
catches,
saying, like,
pretty
there's
sure.
a lot of mouths to feed, and they looked good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And they played. Their new jerseys
Stroud is so good.
kind of threw me off because it looked a little bit like Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I didn't when on Red Zone I was like, "Fuck, who is that?"
That's fair.
But yeah, they looked good, and seeing Mixon in the backfield that was confusing too. But
It's wild. I
That's,
think I saw a clip after a touchdown where Mixon and Diggs were celebrating, and I'm just like,
who?
you told me last year Mixon and Diggs are celebrating. Like, what the hell team are they on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
he's
really
That is
nice.
why they're my number 14.
Some really nice additions. For
They're
them.
my number 14.
They are also my number 14.
So we just flip flop. Had to keep Detroit in there. But like I said, they played C plus ball. I want to see them put it all together here. Who you got at 5? This was the hardest one for me.
5's very hard. You can switch between anybody in the next 5-6 spots, depending. I'm gonna try to give them a little bit of a break for week 1, but because I gotta say they didn't look like a top 5 team this week, but they're still gonna be there in my opinion. I got the Ravens. I was intrigued with that first drive. Mm-hmm. That first drive, they showed balance. They showed some RPO and some options with. If you got Lamar Jackson running like that with Derrick Henry running the way we know he can, that's a threat. Now, that being said,
They just eliminated Derrick Henry in this.
he better reel in Lamar Jackson because I get he had a chip on his shoulder. I get that they really wanted to win this game.
He ain't making it through the season.
He's
he runs
calling
like
his own
that.
plays. He is going to get destroyed.
Yep.
He is.
And-
He's not Cam Newton. He doesn't have the size, man.
And run more if you want, man. Mm-hmm. But when you get the first down, get out of bounds, get down.
Quit shoulder. Yeah.
Multiple times he already had the yards he needed, and he lowered his shoulder. I'm like, like fantasy. If you're a fantasy owner, if you're anybody Ravens fan, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. But at the same time, you got to.
You want him all year.
Yeah.
You want him all year.
Yep. So I hope to see him being a little more safe. But either way, Ravens at 5 for me.
See that they did take Casey down to the wire. I am going to go with Philly. Saquon Barkley is a game changer for them. He is absolutely insane. So I'm going to go with Philly at 5. I think they're I think Kellen Moore's big for them. So Sirianni doesn't have to call plays anymore.
Saquon looked unreal.
So Saquon behind an O-line.
Yeah.
It's-
Pretty fucking incredible.
My-
On a field that everyone was slipping, everyone was falling, dude's jump cutting, no hesitation. Like
He's unbelievable.
he's great. I think that was a great, acquisition for them in the offseason. I was between Philly and the team that I actually put in there. I'm glad you said Philly. I like the Ravens as well, but I will pretty much watch this whole game because Brady was on it, and that was Dallas versus Cleveland. And Dallas, I know it's preseason. I'm not saying that they're going to be here at the end of the year. Dallas looked
They
great
did look good.
on all sides. They dominated on defense, which Cleveland's offense is anything special. They looked great on offense.
Sean Watson ate it.
And their special teams, they returned a kick, and they look good in every aspect of the game. Yes, it's week 1. Yes, I understand all that. It's preseason Dak. Dak got paid.
Dallas-
everybody got their money, and
Dallas
they
always
look.
does this, yeah.
I know they look really good, and
I'm not arguing. They looked
they
really
did.
good
They
because
did.
Cleveland's defense isn't. They're a good defense.
Yeah.
right.
So it's,
That's what I'm saying.
you know,
I
and-
mean, they game planned well. They looked good, and they played really well. They're their highest scoring offense last year, and they didn't look like they missed a beat.
I'll circle back to the Philly thing real quick, and my only thing with them is, and I wanna obviously, we knew they were there 2 years ago. We knew they were there most of the season last year. I still don't know what the hell happened to that team down the stretch last year for them to be as bad as they were. Did look like they figured it out.
Defensive coaching, right?
Jalen Hurts still didn't look like he did a couple years ago. He still missed some.
I agree.
But
You also got to think he's young, man.
yeah, hey, Saquon, man, I've said it for years. Again, big Michigan guy. I've been, for 15, 20 years. I've been in a lot of games. I've seen a lot of opponents over the years. Saquon's the best running back I've ever seen in college.
Yeah,
in
dude,
person.
he was incredible.
In person, at Penn, I was like, holy crap! Like, I was on board with drafting him over Mayfield. Like, I would have took him at any point in that draft, and it's good to see him. Hopefully, he stays healthy. I mean, obviously, I'm cheering for the Lions, but as far as Saquon goes, it's good to see him healthy. It's good to see him behind a line, and he's going to be playing all year with a chip on his shoulder, like and a giant-sized chip.
Yeah,
There's
three
a joke
three
there,
touchdowns
but-
week 1. Like,
Yep,
could you not? I mean, based on how they played, like, I could see him doing that every week.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. He
Yep.
he could have some record breaking year there.
Yep.
So all pretty close. And I think if you didn't have Dallas or Eagles or Ravens, I think they were 6, 7, 8. They're all right there.
100%.
Any other standouts that you wanted to call out from week 1?
Oh, Josh Allen. He is.
Yeah, the Bills, man.
I mean, they were down at.
Bills don't have a receiver, man. He threw it. It didn't matter who he was throwing it to. Right on the
Yeah,
fucking
I
money.
think Keon Coleman's going to be that guy. I
Yeah.
do. But Josh Allen, he's special.
I think you
man,
gotta-
like that fucking hurdle into the end zone.
Yeah.
If that doesn't get you going as a fucking team,
Yeah.
your quarterback is hurling people diving headfirst into the end zone.
Yeah.
I think we got to give the team coming into town this week some love. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdowns.
I will always love Baker Mayfield. I've always loved, that.
Yeah, I'm same boat.
So I watched a little TikTok from him, and he's like, it's not fair. If you single Mike Evans, I'm throwing the ball. If
Yeah.
you double Mike, I'm throwing him the ball.
Also, I mean, shout out Derek Carr, and we know the Panthers are terrible.
I mean,
but
really, the whole
they-
team. The whole team looked like a playoff caliber team,
And
but
we-
they were playing the Panthers.
And the Panthers looked as bad as
Yes.
we all know, and that was just dismantling. Again, we were downtown, so I'm looking at the scores, and it was like 7-0, 14-0,
Yeah.
17-0.
I mean,
25-0.
red zone. It was like I was watching that game. I was like, "What the fuck? The Saints?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, it's Carolina?" But hey, they look good, and hey, you gotta beat what's up there, and he hammered them.
Yeah, Texans. I mean, the Panthers are forever going to regret taking Bryce Young over
Yeah,
CJ Stroud.
I think Minnesota looked better than I was expecting.
He did.
Um,
Aaron Jones.
Chicago,
And they suck. I don't care. Tennessee handed them that fucking game. Their defense is decent.
So you said we were in Fishbones in Greektown
watched that
for most of the 1 o'clock game, and the 2 games on TV were the
Cincinnati.
Bears Titans and the Bengals Patriots.
oof.
2 games that should have been. I mean, the Titans are awful. We know that the Bears aren't good either. The Patriots are supposed to be awful. Both of those games were just like,
Awful. Yeah.
what's going on here? And I saw a quote from the Bears offensive coordinator. He said if they would have punted every time, they win the game. and that's sad and hilarious.
Well, Caleb had like 60-something yards passing.
Yeah.
They had no offense.
Yep.
And
They should not have.
yeah, I mean their defense played well. Like call it what it is, but also like Tennessee, the Giants, Carolina. I mean they're bad.
Patriots supposed to be.
Patriots, yeah. I mean Cincy just couldn't get
Patriots
it together.
just
They just
fucking-
fumbled and muffed punt, and it was like Cincy, what's going on?
The Patriots grounded, and
see the,
they
uh,
Ramondre Stevenson was
Yeah.
running
You see the Joe Burrow clip going around?
with his hand, the water.
Ooh,
No.
So not just the water, but there are about 5-6 times clips throughout the game where you see him just kind of looking at his wrist, moving it around, and then he went to grab a water bottle and it fell out of his hand.
Oh,
And you're like,
jeez.
and it takes me right back to a lot of people didn't know when Denard gave up the starting quarterback spot to Devin Gardner, moved to receiver, played some running back. He was running back. Devin Gardner was the receiver, but a lot of people just thought that Brady Hoke made that change. Didn't realize Denard had nerve damage in his elbow. He couldn't grip the ball properly. He still can't. And they said he could grip it hard, he could grip it, but he couldn't feel it. He had no more sense of how hard he was gripping the ball, and it made it really hard for him to throw. Nerve damage is not something to play with, and it makes me wonder with Burrow what's going on there. Is he just getting comfortable again? Is he, shaking the rust off, or is he feeling something there that maybe we don't know about?
He
'Cause it
also
looked weird.
too. I saw on ESPN. He loses game 1 and 2 and
I
like
saw that
every
too.
one of
He
his
is
seasons.
he still
So
starts.
give him some time. Let's see. We can reassess that.
Plus, he had
week 4 or 5.
no T. Higgins. Jamar Chase wasn't even playing
Yeah.
until like half
Yeah.
hour before the game.
But
so.
I mean, bad fumbles, muff punts. They just as a team.
Yeah, it was a bad game.
Their jerseys look sick. The all orange is pretty badass.
yeah, it was cool.
I'm
But
a
other
fan
than
of the
that-
all orange.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we'll bring us to our last NFL thing here. I know we only have like 20 minutes left. I'm watching the clock for you as well. We got buy or sell, and this is just going to be all Lions edition. Pulled these numbers out of my ass, and that's just going to be: are you going to buy, sell? And it's all on Lions. What would you call it? Individual stats for this week.
Okay.
Okay, so St. Brown.
Over. Sorry.
Didn't matter.
I don't know what they're
Doesn't matter what it is.
Okay, I'm going to change it then. St. Brown over
7
125.
Ooh.
What was it? What's the line at?
Under.
No, it is under. But what was the real line?
It was 85.
Over.
I
Over
think
85.
I think he's gonna have one of those.
So I'm saying let's go 125 though.
I'm going to say under.
Under?
I still
All
think
right,
he
let me
has-
change it to 100.
Ooh,
115. 115.
In my head, under. I got
Under
him
115. I got him at 100.
8 catches, 100 yards, tutty.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
No touchdowns. It's just yards.
All
He
right.
could have 3 touchdowns
I
and
have
40
him at
yards.
100. So I'm taking over 85, under 125.
Okay.
They are going to put an emphasis on getting him involved
Yeah,
early.
I agree.
And he's gonna have a big game.
I agree. I'm going over as well. Laporta, touchdowns, over 0.5.
Over.
Yeah,
There's a long list on here. Just remember how many points they're going to score.
No,
he's
for
over
sure.
by 0.5.
Yeah, I think he does have.
I mean,
fun.
does he-
I think their
does he
goal.
score a
I think
touchdown?
Ben John. Yes, he does. I think Ben Johnson's goal this week is to get those 2 involved quickly.
I'm taking the over on that as well. J-Mo. Receiving yards. It's low. 47.5.
I will still take the over on that. I don't think he
Over.
scores this week, but I will take the over on that.
I'm in the
All he's
same
got to do
boat.
is catch a fucking shallow route, and he takes it 50
I
yards.
understand. But if we're getting everyone else incorporated,
I know, but 46 yards is 46 yards. It could be 1 catch for him.
could be.
Yeah, I was very encouraged with JMO.
I was trying to make it to where he had to have 2 big plays.
Yeah, I think. I mean, his touchdown was 100. Wasn't it? 50
know.
yards.
52. Yeah, the big thing with JMO is you see it at different levels over the years, but the entire stadium, when he gets the ball in his hands, everyone holds their breath for a second. Because
Well, I mean, on that end around, when he got tackled,
Yep.
he looks small out there.
Yeah, he is small.
He is.
He's
Just
a little guy.
just throw it far to him.
Yep.
He's a little guy.
I like it when he doesn't get tackled.
I'm running out of bounds.
Just don't get tackled.
I'm running out of bounds.
Yeah. And we're deep in that position.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to take the under on that. I think J-Mo still has a good game, but I think it's going to be the usual suspects, Saint and Laporta. Goff passing over 267.5.
Under. I got him 225. I think
It's very rarely he goes over 250.
I know it is,
just-
but you got to remember who they're playing and how that game could potentially go.
I would like to see.
I still think we're going to try to control the ground.
Yeah, I'd like to see us start the game the way we finished the Rams game and ride Montgomery early, mix in Gibbs there, and control the game. Now that I know we have a over on JMO, but again, for me that's 2 catches. Over on
Saint.
Saint, but that's in my head. That's 150 yards. Laporta gets his 40, 190. You sprinkle in Gibbs and whoever else. I think Goff ends up in that like 230, 235 range.
Yeah, I take the under. It's
know-
very rarely he goes north of 250.
I'm going under as well. Goff rushing TD. Will he have one?
God
When
damn it.
he turned that man when he tucked it, I said, "Okay, cool, go straight." When he turned, I could not believe it. Like, and I don't think anyone.
He was
thought-
fired up, man.
Who the fuck is that guy?
and it was the
When the fuck we get
slowest-
ice cream?
Like there are some things that happen when you're watching a sporting event that feels like it happens in slow motion.
Yeah.
That actually.
Well, because he was running slow.
that actually did.
Yeah, it just looks slow.
The whole crowd was like, "Oh."
It was
made
a
it.
very long
right.
Very under. On
Not
the
a-
touchdown.
And the run lasted forever.
How about instead of Jared Goff over under half touchdown, over under 1 yard rushing, and I'm still going under.
No, the rushing touchdown.
I think
I'm going to say under.
I think he blew his load a little early, and we'll save that for
Love
playoffs.
it. Love it. Monty, over 85.
Oh, Ooh, under.
Yeah, I think he's right just below that.
I do hope he scores a touchdown for my fantasy points.
I think we're going over this week. I think they're gonna
I got
Man,
the first
they're
touchdown.
they're gonna get him the ball a little bit more.
He had 91 last week, so
Yeah,
Correct.
35. It was on that.
And
last three
and
plays.
what were you saying the whole game? Where the fuck's Monty?
Yep.
Right.
I love money.
I was
love
actually
money.
saying that.
Gibbs, all purpose yards, 95.
Over. Right at it.
He had I think 40 and 40 last week.
Yep. I think he.
95.
You guys are taking a lot of overs, man.
I get him about 50 and 50 this week.
A lot of overs and Goff's under.
Yeah.
No, I just said under.
Maybe 60 and 40 for Gibbs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has a few more rush yards this week.
I'm also checking the box of Monty first touchdown.
Monty, I feel it too. Actually, I might take St. Brown this week.
That's a good one too.
That quick slant, boom, boom. But Monty's going to get you there.
Randomly, I was so close this past game to
It's gonna fucking be
Brock
Khalif.
Wright, and he got
He
that play
did-
action.
yeah.
He got tackled at the 2, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, I was kicking myself for not placing it.
It was
and then he
like-
got tackled. And I was like, oh
Yeah. Save my money.
because he'll get that one.
All right. Bates. Will he have 0.05 missed kicks?
I don't want to wish any evil on Bates ever. I just want him to make everything and get that confidence. But
One miss. Could be a field goal. Could be an extra point. Is he even put in a situation to miss a field goal?
I'm not
I
putting
got to
him
be
in that.
realistic. I'm going to say over, and I'm thinking it's going to be like we're going to put him in a situation where it's like into the quarter. We're going to have him
Try to
for
bang
a
one out.
long one, and it'll be an okay. It won't be a meltdown miss. It'll be a normal.
Normal miss.
We missed that.
Fuck it, I'm
sometimes.
saying under. I'm not putting
That being
Jesus.
I was clenching every time he lined up.
I know.
Against the
I
Rams.
know
and,
that overtime one, man.
and
That was
good for him.
that was
Just
puckered.
Keep it rolling.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch it.
No.
So
Turn it around.
I was at the
Turn it
50,
around.
and you know how hard it is to watch a field goal from the sides.
Yeah.
So I also stepped away, and I was looking at the screen that he's kicking into. They just put a logo on it. They don't want to distract him.
Yeah.
The screen behind him, they'll be showing the replay or the live action. So I turned and I was facing away, just watching the live, because all I've learned from Michigan games, like I just want to see the ball go up, and
Let it be straight.
I want the
Right.
crowd to cheer.
Yep.
And as soon as it went up, I said everyone I was with was free to watch, and we just hey, we're good.
See, that's the
We're good.
problem is we were behind. Like we
Oh,
had the perfect angle to
I
know if
know.
we went in or not.
Yeah, I know the seats well. I don't think he's missing. I think he's not going to have an opportunity to do that because they're going to either score and he's going to kick his extra points. Hutch, over 0.05 sacks. Is he going to get home?
He's getting home. Over.
I think he.
I think Baker moves too much. I agree. I'm going over.
He tries to stay in the pocket,
Right.
and he's not super fast. Baker's not super fast. He's just
Who-
a quick little shit.
Tristan Wirth?
Tristan Wirfs. Yeah.
Wirfs, right? That's who he's be going against, or is he? It's either left or the right. I don't know. That's
I'll tell you one interesting take I had on Hutch this past game too was for the last 2 years he's rushed from the left side every single time.
They moved him.
He also has come to D-tackle a couple times, like on the pass plays. Sometimes they'll move him in. He played the first 3 quarters on the right side this past week. I don't know if Davenport's maybe more comfortable on the left side. They did start moving him left and right in the fourth quarter in overtime, but not the overtime. But it was really interesting to see he was predominantly right side. And I don't know if that's is that where Stafford's throwing more? Is that the matchup they wanted with that tackle, or is Davenport?
Maybe Hutch prefers that side.
Well, in Michigan, he was on the left side. Ojabo was on the right side. Maybe he's gotten better at it, and now he's more balanced.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's been working on it.
Yeah, it's. I really don't know, but it's something to pay attention to this week. That being said, 11 pressures, only 1 sack this past week. I think he gets 2 or 3 this week.
All he needs is 1. I put it at .05.
Yeah,
so
he's gonna get.
I think he's gonna get a sack.
It's a lock.
Team interceptions for the Lions, 1.5.
2
I'm gonna say under. I think we have 1.
over.
We'll
I
go
think
under.
we get 1 while the game's close, and we get another 1 garbage time when Baker's trying to make something happen to get back in it.
I think turnovers we have over 2. I think we only have 1 pick.
Branch gets 1.
I feel like someone's popping a ball out.
Give me one to Tyrion. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Get him comfortable back there, right?
That would be great.
So that's the when I looked at these numbers, I chatted with another guy. I had team interceptions at 2.5. He's like, man, that's a shitty game for Baker.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Baker's played well against us.
he has. And Baker's good, man.
Yeah, he
He
played
is.
2 games.
He's solid.
Last year. He was
All right,
solid
cool.
both games.
That was fun. Little Lions buy or sell. Brings you to Duff. We got around 9 minutes here, buddy. For
Yeah, we're
the
going to
picks.
jump into the picks. Last week, Josh had a good week. Josh went 4-2. Kelly went 2-4, and I went 500 at 3-3. Tough week for Kelly and I, but that's okay. We're going to jump into tonight's game since it is Thursday. The Buffalo Bills are plus 2.5 at Miami.
Ooh.
That is a. Ooh. I hate 2.5. I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yikes. Buffalo started rough this past week. And then
So before you say that,
I know
They-
who's out.
yeah, they have their third string running back in for Miami.
Yeah.
A-Chain is very questionable, and Mostert is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all. This one's in my head. This one's more about Buffalo. We know what Miami is. We know. I'm not until I see them take that next step. I saw something earlier that I think like in the last 6 or 7 games that Buffalo's played Miami. Josh Allen's gone over 300 yards passing in every
man.
game.
Yeah.
I think his over-under tonight's like 246, by the way, so I might want to hop on your gambling apps. But I'm going to go Buffalo. Give me the points. I think they go into Miami and shut them up.
I'm going Miami. Still hot out. It's not cold weather yet.
All
Give them
right.
their dub.
Should be a shootout. It'll be fun game
This
to watch.
Ugly game. Bears Houston. Bears plus 6.5. I don't trust in the Bears at all, even though
Where's it at?
at Houston.
Doesn't matter. That's
I
Houston.
just
Fuck the Bears.
Okay.
unless some crazy weather comes through Chicago.
Another ugly one. A lot of points here. Falcons Eagles 6.
You didn't even let me choose.
You picked them. You're not. Gonna
I got the Texans minus 16.5.
Falcons Eagles. Eagles minus 6.5 at the Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, Falcons look bad.
Cousins did not look comfortable yet on that Achilles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well.
All right, that'll bring us to our boys, the Lions. Bucks at Lions. Lions minus 7.5.
Boom.
It's a lot of points.
7.5.
It's a lot of points. They
I'm
won by
gonna-
7 in overtime.
I'm not going to do this every week, but I'm going to copy what I did last week. I think the Bucks backdoor cover, and I'm taking the Bucks with the points.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bucks with the points.
I think we got them probably something like 31-24 in my head.
I'm going to take Bucks with the points.
What's the spread?
7.5.
God, that's a lot.
You get over that touchdown
I can't.
mark.
I
It's
can't
tough.
do it. No, Bucks with points.
All right. That leaves, let's go. Jesus Christ. Michigan State Spartans playing Prairie View. A&T. Minus 40.5. I can't give up 40.5. I know it's Prairie View. But I
40?
can't give up 40.5.
Prairie A&T too. They're not just Prairie View.
I mean, people know them as Prairie View, but
Yeah,
A&T.
I'm taking the Spartans. Give me it. They're gonna stomp Prairie Dog.
Oh man.
Childs is
40 and a
Childs
half.
is gonna be slinging that ball.
I would hope. Playing Sister of the Blind.
Come on, Prairie
This
Dog.
is tough. Give me. That's too many points in my head. Give me Prairie View. Whoever they are.
All right, that brings us
Prairie Dog.
What's their nickname?
to
That's what I was thinking. Prairie Dog.
the
Prairie Dog in it.
University of Michigan Wolverines versus Arkansas State.
I don't even know what this is. So
Minus 23.5.
Go Blue.
That's a lot of points too, and they have not shown me
At home.
go blue.
I don't think it's some. I think it's like 31-3.
Yeah, who you got, Josh?
Yeah, I'm taking Michigan.
All right, last one. We touched on these boys a little bit last week. We're going to switch the tides to baseball. The Tigers.
Before we leave Michigan too completely, that kicker's a weapon.
Yes.
That kicker,
It is nice to see Michigan with another good kicker.
Yeah, it is.
that
Banging 50 plus.
might be the best kicker we've ever had.
He's sick.
But
Hey, come on, Moody.
Hey, he's only a junior too.
I know.
by
Yeah,
the way.
2 years.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got a long way to catch Moody. You're right, but
But in case you guys forgot, baseball is still going on, and the Tigers are on what we call a little bit of a hot streak. 7-3 in their last 10, chasing the wild card, 3 games out. Technically 4. Callie pointed that out to me because of the tiebreaker. However, we are on paper 3 games out.
3.
Tigers, Rockies, minus 1.5. I'm going to take Tigers again.
yeah, are we going to do this podcast every single time when Scuba bitches? Because
Scuba's on the mound, man.
Scuba, Tigers.
You can't not take him.
Go Tigers. Well, if you're still listening, again, we appreciate all of your support. We are the Tailgate Talks. We're going to have some guests on this year. I've had quite a few people reach out
Me as well.
wanting to be on the podcast. So we're going to get some guests on. We'll have to figure out how we do this because we're not very smart when it comes to setting it up. We just need another camera. And I think that microphone works over
Let
there.
me just back this camera up and snuggle someone in the middle of the couch here.
Somebody's
Yeah,
gonna come skiing.
we need another mic. We need another headset. We'll figure it out.
We have another headset.
So we'll get it.
Somebody's
Yes,
going to come
We'll throw
skiing.
someone over there.
But anyways, we appreciate you guys, and as always,
Yeah.
go Blue, go Lions, forward down the field.
Thanks for
See you guys.
listening.
Like AIDS full blown, I'm killing it. Like a blind man reading, I'm feeling it. Like, yeah, here comes the, here comes the, here comes